Welcome to the vlog. Sorry it's been a few days. I actually started vlogging on Monday, but the day kind of just took over. But if you are here for the giant steps and you're new, welcome to this channel. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you consider subscribing even now before you've seen it. But if you want to just watch the giant steps bit and you're not interested in the rest of the vlog, please skip ahead to this moment in the video. So thanks for agreeing to watch the rest of the vlog. Now I started on Monday, and I'm going to take you back to Monday in a minute. But the story, I just didn't get a vlog out of Monday. I kind of started it, it went okay, and then the day just kind of got progressively more difficult and more things happening that I just kind of stopped making videos. Yesterday, my iPhone has managed to brick. Ooh, what's going on with this collar? Not my Lions shirt, by the way. Yesterday the Lions were not great either. Yesterday I was trying to finish that vlog, and then my iPhone is bricked. It won't charge. The charger just won't go in. Tried a few little hacks, wouldn't work, so I have to go to the Apple store in about an hour for a Genius Bar appointment. Hopefully they can fix that, but obviously I can't get a lot of the stuff I need off the phone that are recorded. So it's just been kind of one of those all-round disastrous 2 days. Hoping today is going to be a lot better. But let me take you back to Monday. Heading back into London today, a couple of videos to shoot for my clients at Central Hall, and then I'm also going to see if I can get some more vinyl, because I haven't actually updated my collection in a while, mainly because the vinyl shop at Foyles didn't really have anything decent in last time I went, so I'm hoping that they might have some better stuff in this time round. So the trains have been cancelled. So we're now in a taxi, which a kind gentleman has paid for, going to Stansted to try and meet up with the rest of the trains that are running. But I did not expect my Monday morning to start like this. Well, what a nightmare. It's nearly 10 to midday. So it's taken me 3 hours to get in. Just for reference, it took me 55 minutes to drive it yesterday. And I've now lost my sunglasses, which makes me even happier. Oh well, live and learn. So main bit of the video done now, just to get some exterior shots around Westminster, and then do the edit, and then try and make my way home. When I get in here, it's always like I'm in the Matrix. So a big problem is that all the trees have grown, which means I want a shot where I get our building in one frame and whiz round and get Big Ben in the next. But the trees are now too long, so I can't get a shot of Big Ben and the building in the same one. So I'm going to go up to the balcony and see if I can do a skim across. Let's see what happens with that. Lightning just struck the house. It was the scariest thing I have ever heard. It was so loud. It was like everything just mega bang. And it is really raining now. So let's talk about giant steps. Now, when I was in college 10 years ago, I played giant steps. I played two versions. For my mid-year recital, I played a version of giant steps in 7/8, which I don't have a recording of. But I also do have the recording from my final recital, on which I got a first. Just to outline to those of you possibly questioning why I don't play giant steps, I can play it. This is why I don't play it. Because you will not find an example of Coltrane playing it live himself. It's not a great melody. It isn't. It's a fantastic exercise. You know, moving through those different chord changes is very, very technically challenging. But if all you're interested in doing is showing to your audience how technically great you are, I really suggest you question why you're a musician. Now that's going to hit me, that's going to get me. All the kind of mid-20s music colleges are going to be hitting that dislike button now. But I'm sorry guys, if that's what you want to do, then that's come from experience. I used to be one of those people who wanted to play giant steps at 320 as fast as possible because I thought that was what was going on. And then as I've gone through, and I've been very fortunate to be mentored by some amazing musicians, I kind of got thinking, why? And also, why are most people totally turned off by that? But most people are totally turned off by that because the last thing most people want to see is another person's overinflated ego being pressed out in front of them. Now, I'm not saying Coltrane and those kind of things. Coltrane did it as an amazing, but he never played it live. Whereas something like Naima, he was playing right up to the very end. If you haven't listened to the Temple one at Philadelphia University, his final recording, the bootleg came out a few years ago, strongly urge you to listen to it because there he's playing Naima. He's playing absolutely crazy stuff. It's absolutely completely out there on the avant-garde. He's completely going mental, but there is still that melody of Naima underpinning all of it. If you don't get that, I suggest you really need to go back and listen. And that's the thing, it's about listening. The other thing is that something I read in a book from one of my former lecturers that really struck me a number of years ago. He said, and he was using it as an example in general philosophical point, which was, if what you do is all about aren't I great, it's going to, most people, you might get some people who go along with it, but if you go out there and you play the saxophone and you do it to sort of say aren't I wonderful, a lot of people are going to get turned off by that. But if you go out there and say this is for you, this is what I'm sharing, this is my music, I'm sharing it to you, or this is my interpretation of that, or here's some music to help you get along with life, as Art Blakely said, you know, music, it washes away the dust of everyday life. That's what I try and do. That's what I try and do through my vlogs. If you think I'm here for an ego grand, just look at some of the comments I get, look at some of the, some of the stuff that goes on there. That doesn't do the ego any favours. But I hope to do this as an offering, and thank you so much for those of you who do bring a positive vibe to this. It really makes a huge difference. It keeps me going on those days where I just think, why am I bothering to make these vlogs? Giant steps is a phenomenal exercise, but it's not a great melody at all, as I've said. So, well, that's why I don't spend a lot of time. I mean, to be honest, do you know what? I was thinking about planning how I shot this bit of the video, and I thought, I'll just quickly play through giant steps. And do you know what? For the last half an hour, I've been nailing through it and practicing it and running all sorts of different runs. Because for me, all the little things come back. It's a little bit frustrating. I can't play it like I played it 10 years ago. But, there's loads of stuff there, and there's loads of little exercises I can run off it. But and what I'm always aiming to do is play good melodies. So you take something like giant steps, which is that kind of thing, but compare it with something like cheek to cheek. That's a phenomenal melody. There's so much you can do with that. And we have great fun when we play it, with apologies to Irving Berlin as always. If you haven't seen it, watch a gig of us playing it there. But that's my take on giant steps. There's nothing wrong with using it as a practice tool to get somewhere and to sort of work through Coltrane changes, but just really be aware And there's a guy who, Branford Marsalis was telling me, there's a guy who's done a PhD on this in Germany, who's gone through all these bootleg recordings of Coltrane, both in the States and in Europe from the 50s and 60s. There's no, well, obviously he didn't write Giant Steps till 59, but the 60s, but there's no actual physical copy or any kind of recollection of Coltrane ever playing Giant Steps live. I really believe in that Art Blakey line. I think, music is there to wash away the dust of everyday life. And again, another kind of line from Branford, which is like, people want you to rip open your chest and bare your soul. Some of the nicest things people have said to me on gigs, the common one is quite often, I hate jazz, but I really love what you're playing, which sometimes makes me question whether I'm playing jazz, but I'm pretty comfortable that I am. And that's because they've got preconceptions of a lot of notes and a lot of things that you can't understand. And you just play good melody to people and good music and have a good time yourself up there, and they will have a good time. And other times when people have said, that music moved me to tears, or that made me think of this person or that person. The Song for Helena one that I spoke about here, that really has had a lot, an effect on a lot of people. A lot of people have said how much it's moved them. Because as I said in that vlog episode, that came as an outpouring of feelings I had towards friends of mine whose daughter just died of cancer. And I couldn't express it in words, but I hope, and I think I did express it through music. And that's the power that music has. Yes, technical virtuosity is something to be applauded and something to aim for, but if it's all you're aiming for, you're going to come up short, I think, as a musician. Anyway, back to nailing stuff in the woodshed.